The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race has officially concluded from Bristol Motor Speedway, and what looked like was going to be an easy, dominant win for Christian Eckes gets taken away with 5 laps to go when Corey Heim passes him. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. I just got done watching the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race in Bristol Motor Speedway, the UNOH 200. We had some stuff to talk about from this race. Let's go and talk about it. So, for the green flag drop in today's race, Bailey Curry, Nick Sanchez, Caden Honeycutt, Stuart Friesen, and Parker Clearman would all have to go to the rear for unapproved adjustments. So at the start of the race, he had Christian Eckes lead the field from the outside and Carson Osebar on the inside, and Christian Eckes got a really strong restart and was able to clear for the race lead. He would dominate early, and in the first caution race come out lap 15 when Jack Wood hit the outside wall after it looked like there was some contact by Corey Heim. I think Corey Heim went up the racetrack too high, was getting held up, of course, by Jack Wood, and Jack Wood hit the outside wall really hard. And unfortunately, Dean Thompson got collected in the wreck as well. Unfortunately, taking Jack Wood and Dean Thompson out of the race. My thing, I'm going to say this, I think the blame unfortunately goes to Corey Heim. Yes, Corey's clearly a faster truck, but you've got to be patient. Then during the caution, Nick Sanchez decided to come down pit road from 24th to put on 4 tires. So then on the restart, you have Christian Eckes lead the field from the outside with Carson Osebar on the inside, and Christian Eckes got a really strong restart and was able to clear for the lead. He would continue his domination and would come out the final corner and win stage number 1. During the caution, Zane Smith, Carson Quaffle, Nick Sanchez, and Bailey Curry stayed out, while the rest leaders decided to come down pit road. So on the restart, Zane Smith led the field from the outside and Carson Quaffle restarted on the inside, and we saw Zane Smith get a really strong restart and was able to clear for the race lead. Then on lap 75, the final caution for Incident would come out lap 75 for Gray Van also spun from 34th position, just got loose by himself. Unfortunately, he's kind of been rough this year when he's been in the truck series. Not been a great year for Greg, and unfortunately, he brought the yellow out. So then on the restart, you had Zane Smith lead the field from the outside and Nick Sanchez on the inside. And we saw Zane Smith get a really strong restart and was able to clear for the race lead. Then near the end of stage number 2, Christian Eckes got a rack around Zane Smith and with about 5 or 6 laps to go in stage number 2. And Ty Majeski was battling Corey Heim at the time. He unfortunately hit Corey and got a flat right front tire. And he would limp around and get to the end of stage number 2, but unfortunately would go a lap down. Luckily for him, he would get the free pass, but it wouldn't matter in the end as Christian Eckes would come off the final corner and win stage number 2. Then under the caution, Zane Smith, Nick Sanchez, Carson Quaffle, Parker Clearman, Tyler Ankrum, Jake Drew, Timmy Hill, Wallace Allen were among the drivers that came down pit road. Unfortunately for Zane Smith, he got penalized for pitting outside of the box when his right front tire was over the line. That is completely on Zane Smith in my opinion, and this would cost Zane Smith a shot or any opportunity of winning the race, and Tanner Gray got penalized for speeding on pit road. So then on the final restart of this race, actually coming to the final restart, you have Christian Eckes lead the field from the outside and Corey Heim on the inside, and Christian Eckes got a really strong restart and was able to clear for the lead. So at this point, it would become a cat and mouse game between Corey Heim and Christian Eckes. They actually passed Zane Smith to put him lap down with 40 laps to go, but at this point, it would become a cat and mouse game. At times, Christian Eckes would pull away, but Corey Heim at times was able to close in. And it looked like Christian Eckes was going to run away with this thing. But with 6 laps to go in this race, things would change as Corey Heim would get to the inside of Christian Eckes while they were trying to lap Tanner Gray and put him a lap down. Tanner, I think 1 or 2 laps down already up to this point, was on the outside, comes down the racetrack a little bit, and Corey Heim gets a really strong run and is able to clear for the race lead with 5 laps to go. Christian Eckes does everything to try to come back at Corey Heim, but doesn't have anything for him at the end. And coming off the final corner, Corey Heim steals a victory, picks up win number 3 of 2023, and locks his way into the championship with the victory. Congratulations to Corey Heim. He was in the right position and right time. Obviously, definitely got helped by his teammates and was already involved in incidents throughout the night. But you got to be in the right position and right time. And congratulations nonetheless. He'll be racing in the Championship 4, which of course we got a couple weeks till the next race at Talladega. But really good for Corey Heim. Obviously one of the championship favorites. He's been close to winning this year. A lot of races this year. And for now to him to get his 3rd win of the year, I think is really good. So nonetheless, massive congratulations to Corey Heim on picking up the victory. So now we're going to take a look at the race results. I'll give you my score and thoughts on today's race. So Corey Heim picks up the victory. Christian Eckes finished second. Really tough break for Christian Eckes. This team has been coming on really, really strong, and they had the best truck in practice. They won the pole in qualifying, and they dominated the race tonight. But obviously, there was some teammate help that really cost them the win, and also getting a little tight near the end of the race cost him a shot. I feel for Christian, though, because this was easily his win, and unfortunately, it did not come through for him. Grant Enfinger finished third. Solid run for him. Was about a 5th to 10th place truck most of the evening, but strategy came into play and helped him. And on the long run, the truck seemed good. Very solid 3rd place finish. Carson Osbar finished 4th. Never ran worse than 4th with the guys on the same strategy he was in. Carson Osbar and his 42 team looked really, really good. He's got a lot of pace and speed right now, and obviously a lot of talk about his future, maybe going cup racing next year. But Carson Osbar, nonetheless, another solid night in 4th place. Taylor Gray finished his 5th. Another great run for Taylor Gray. Backing up a 2nd place finish at Kansas. The 17 team is really coming strong, and I wouldn't be surprised or shocked if Taylor Gray makes the playoffs next year in the Truck Series in 2024, because Taylor Gray is getting better and better as the weeks go on. Great night for Taylor Gray in 5th place. Roger Crew finished 6th. A very good night for Roger Crew. Ran top 10 all night long. At points was in the top 5. Made only really 1 or 2 mistakes throughout the race. Again, making lack of mistakes is a great thing. So good job for Roger Crew to finish in the top 10. A very solid run for the driver of the 24 truck. Ben Rhodes finished 7th. Obviously, there was a crew chief change that was made. Rich Luchis is now working with Ben Rhodes once again, and it benefited Ben Rhodes because he had a very solid run tonight. Qualified not that great, but they improved their truck throughout the night and gets a very solid top 10 finish. Good run for Ben Rhodes. Chase Purdy finished 8th. Decent run for Chase Purdy. Had basically a top 5, top 10 truck all night long. This was about the worst he ran all night, so a solid run for him in 8th place. Nick Sanchez finished 9th. Got better as the night went on. Obviously, was on a little bit of a different strategy, but nonetheless, a very solid top 10 run for Nick Sanchez. And Matt DiBenedetto finished 10th. Again, just another good run for Matt DiBenedetto. I'm telling you, I know that he's going to be leaving Rackley at the end of this year. We don't know where he's going to be going in 2024. But again, Matt DiBenedetto, pretty good at Bristol throughout his career. A solid night in 10th place for Matty D. Jake Garcia finished 11th. Solid run for him. Carson Quaffle finished 12th. Short at the beginning of this race in his debut, but as the night went on, he got better. It stayed up front a lot of the evening in 2nd stage, didn't fall worse than 5th or 6th, and then he goes and comes down pit road and gets up to 12th position. A really solid debut. I think he's someone who's got a lot of potential to win races in the Cup Series one day. A very good night for Carson Quaffle in 12th place in his debut. Bailey Curry finished 13th. Decent run for him in the 41. Took a big bounce back week after what happened last week at Kansas where they were completely out for lunch. Stuart Friesen finished 14th. Decent run for him. Connor Jones gets a very solid top 15 finish. Matt Craft finished 16th. Haley Deegan finished 17th. I'll tell you what, this was a decent race for her. I know ThorSport Racing is usually really, really great, but the best finishing ThorSport truck only finished in 7th place, and she kind of finished around some of her ThorSport teammates. Again, she didn't really struggle. She was outside the top 20 a couple times, but she did improve throughout the night, and she was running top 15 a lot of the evening, so a decent run for her. Not a great run, but I think a decent run for Haley Deegan. Parker Clearman finished 18th, was also one of those cars that came down pit row near the end of the race. Had a decent run, not a great run. They were not that great in qualifying, but they figured it out a little bit, and he does get a decent top 20 finish. Ty Majeski recovers a little bit to finish 19th. Man, tough break for Ty Majeski and a wasted opportunity. They had a truck capable of finishing in the top 5 or maybe even winning, and they threw it away by having that flat tire with the eventual winner of the race, Corey Heim. He finished 19th, and now they're below the cutoff line by like 15 or 16 points. And Jake Drew finishes 20th. Daniel Dye finished 21st. Colby Howard finished 22nd. Tyler Anker finished 23rd. Zane Smith finished 24th. Just not a good race for Zane Smith, unfortunately. They came down pit road. They were going to be kind of screwed anyways, but they probably were going to come out and be about 10th or 11th and be right in position to go for the win. Instead, they ended up having the issue on pit road that cost them a shot at the victory. He finished 24th. Caden Honeycutt finished 25th. Not a great run, but not a terrible run for him. Timmy Hill finished 26th. Actually was in the top 20 near the end of the race. Brent Owens finished 27th. Lost Allen finished 28th. Tanner Gray, who had a controversial move, finished 29th. William Sawalsh finished 30th. I have no idea what happened to William Sawalsh near the end of the race to drop into 30th because he ran top 10 and top 15 most of the night. I wonder if he had a flat tire that cost him a great run because it seemed like that might have been the case. Spencer Boyd finished 31st. Stephen Malazzi finished 32nd in that beautiful Outback scheme. While he struggled on the track tonight, still great to see Outback on the trucks. Memphis Villarreal finished 33rd. Gray Van Alst finished 34th. Dean Thompson finished 35th. And finishing last in 36th place is Jack Wood. So now, let's go and talk about the race, and I'll give you my score and thoughts on today's race. Honestly, this race flew by. This race was like an hour and like 15 or 20 minutes. This is probably the fastest race we've seen so far in all three divisions that's gone from start to end and completed the whole entire race. And for a race that was really, really quick, I thought it was a very solid race overall. Yes, in passing throughout the field, yes, it was extremely difficult to pass, but Bristol is a track that is very, very difficult to pass. But I will say it was a little bit overcomplicated with tires. Tire fall off did not mean anything tonight, and that's a little bit of an issue to me. I do think they're bringing more for the Xfinity and truck race. I think they are going to be bringing tires that are going to fall off a lot more for those two respective series. But you had a pretty solid finish at the end between Christian Eckes and Corey Heim that I thought was really, really entertaining, and Christian was coming up front. I'm going to give tonight's Truck Series race review overall, I'm going to give this race a 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, there was good moments of the race for sure, but not a lot of amazing moments. It was just a really, really fast race, and we couldn't get a lot of correlation there. So 7.5 out of 10 is my score. Now, let's talk about Fox. Fox, why are you throwing a commercial with 20 laps to go? I know it's side-by-side, but absolutely ridiculous. There was like a quarter of this race, maybe even half this race, that was run under commercial. Whether it was side-by-side or whether it was a full-screen commercial, half the races ran under commercial. And I get and understand that you need to get that time in, but come on, just unacceptable and ridiculous on Fox's part. Their coverage tonight was not very good. It was pretty abysmal, in my honest opinion. So, that is going to tonight's NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race view from Bristol Motor Speedway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Links description below that, and comment your thoughts below on tonight's race. What are your thoughts on tonight's race? Let me know below. Let me know your score in the comments below, and congratulate Corey Heim on picking up the victory and locking his way into the Championship 4. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel is likely going to be 3 videos on the channel. We've got a NASCAR news video dropping. We're going to be talking about the College Racing 2024 announcement that is going to be coming. And also we'll have the Xfinity Series race review. Then on Saturday, we'll have 2 videos more than likely on the channel. There might be a driver lineup predictions for 2025 dropping on the channel. We'll have to wait and see. And there's also, of course, going to be the Cup Series race view for the Bass Pro Shops NRA night race. And then, of course, on Sunday, we'll have a special video dropping on the channel. Got a lot of great content dropping on the channel that I can't wait for you guys to check out. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.